go. Let's get into
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
And by God, are we back?
We're gonna try to be back.
It's been really busy.
We're very busy. We've had a lot of things happening to us.
Not we've been involved in things. Things happen to us.
we haven't done anything, but
We are passive in this.
Okay, first order of business.
Business.
Let's talk business.
Business.
YouTube comments. We got a couple YouTube comments since the last time we made an episode.
Hooray!
Hurrah!
Hooray!
Huzzah.
Who's that? Okay, let me just pull these up real quick, please. Boys.
Oh, okay.
First of all, thank you to everybody who has followed us and continued to support us despite our lack of activity.
Yeah.
It shows that you care, and I appreciate that.
I don't remember if I told you guys this. My dad found this.
Yeah, we
Okay.
followed him back on Instagram.
That's
So-
adorable.
What? Okay. Hey, Dad.
We're fans of...
If you hear me swearing, no, you didn't. I'm so sorry. I don't care if the juniors hear me swear, but I'm
My
I'm
own
sorry,
father?
Papa.
Think about the children.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we have a comment on our last episode from Hellemental, and it says, "Love the episode. It's like being a fly on the wall, and I laughed out loud." That's amazing. Snaps. Great to have the projectile lore confirmed. Yeah, if you listen to our last episode, you'll know the lore indeed is lore.
If you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
And then we have another comment from the mysterious Aubrey Pledger 8137 on our little mini-sode episode. It says, "Be serious level impossible." I wonder who that bitch is.
That was a stupid ass comment. Whoever said that, I don't
Blocked
know.
and recorded.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Cross that off.
Done.
What's next? Okay.
Tap, tap.
Tap tap.
We've got like a full list. We mean business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Oh, really quickly, can I do this? Just
Yeah,
as a-
do
Oh,
it, do
yes,
it, do
yes,
it, do
yes,
it,
yes.
do it.
Okay,
do it,
yeah.
do it.
So, for those of you who don't know me, I just got sponsored by Roller Derby Athletics.
Yay!
And by just sponsored, I mean a couple weeks ago. But I am so stoked about it, and so I've been like doing their workouts, and I've got like a personal trainer.
That's
Their-
amazing.
Their name's Maloik, and I'm like, Maloik, please help me. And they're like, what's up? And I'm like, please. And then they give me videos, and I go, thank you. So, Maloik, you're saving my life. And I'm like posting on my Instagram about how it's going. But I'm really liking it so far, because I just go to the gym and go, okay, and things happen to me. And like
I happen to think.
I happen to things, and like when my girlfriend comes with me, she's like, do this, and I go, okay. So it's nice to like have a roller derby specific thing to do. And then we're gonna talk about a bunch of things in games that have happened since, and like I feel
Real
pretty
quick,
good about it
though.
though.
Have you noticed that these workouts have been helping you? Have you even had time to realize if those
I-
are helping you at all?
Listen, actually,
Is it
yes.
working? Is it working?
I'm gonna be real though, yes, because
Hell
like
yeah.
we're gonna talk about probably the hardest games of my life.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I was like, okay, what's next?
Fuck yeah.
Which is like psychotic.
That's nice. That's
But
nice.
I was just like, okay. And then I was like, I swear, if this happened like 2 months ago, I'd be on my knees. Like, it'd be over for me. So, I don't know. Like, I've noticed that, like, I'm working on my form, and then it's also just, like, making me think about the way that I skate and the way that these exercises work into the way that I skate, which is helpful, because before I was just like, I'll do this, why not? And so just like having that roller derby specific
Cross
training,
Yep.
I've been really stoked about. So yeah, follow along on my Instagram. That's Smacky Kennedy. That's the entire Instagram, but that's sorry. What? Oh.
All right.
Alright, moving on.
That is amazing, Smack.
Yeah, so I just
Fantastic
wanted to
job.
sprinkle that in there.
Very proud of you.
Stoked about it.
Yeah, that is fucking amazing.
But I haven't
Look
done
at you.
any workouts recently because I've been so busy. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's been hard. Anyways.
All right.
Moving
Next
on.
topic.
Talkie.
Next topic.
Okay. I feel like we can't talk about this without talking about this.
What do you mean? Oh,
Because we needed this specifically for that. So
yeah. Okay.
let's kind of
I
like
hope you
let's
keep
start
this
going.
in.
Yeah, I will.
Like this and like
I
that.
need, and we can't do this until that, but then this happens, so that, you know?
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I like keeping things a secret from our listeners.
Okay.
Jesus.
Because I think it's funny when people ask me about the context behind what I was saying, and then I can't give them context.
You go, I blacked out, actually.
I signed an NDA, I can't tell you.
Jesus.
So, last weekend, we were at Cosmo Chaos in Oakland, California. And we'll get into that in a hot second, but 2 weeks prior to us going to Cosmo Chaos as a preparation event, sort of say, we played a game against Flower Power, which is a mashup team of a bunch of Alberta skaters.
It's basically like an Alberta-wide pickup team, plus a
Yeah.
little bit of Saskatchewan.
Yeah. And, by God, did they stack that shit
Oh my god.
for that game.
It was insane.
Like, it was...
I was quaking in my goddamn boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was stacked when I first saw the roster.
And then they added more
And then they
people.
added D-Ray to it. And I was like, what the fuck?
Wow. Shout out to D-Ray.
Shout out to D-Ray.
Shout out to D-Ray.
Making us quake in our boots.
Yeah,
last minute.
legit. Like, he messaged me on Facebook, and he was like, so did you see the Flower Power roster? And I was like, yeah, no, I'm fucking, we're gonna die. And then he's like, oh, did you see they added me? And I was like, huh?
Pardon?
Pardon, sir? Why are you coming here? To play us? So yeah, how was that game for everybody?
Did you want to go last?
Yeah, I'll go last again.
It was good for me. I vibed. It was like, do we want to say what ended up happening in the game? Like, score-wise?
Do you even remember the score?
God, I don't remember.
I don't remember the
it was
score.
like 101.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, you guys talk. All
Stars
Okay.
won.
Yeah, yeah.
Calgary won.
Calgary won, which
Calgary
was
won.
like
We needed
a
that.
miracle. Because, oh my god, did we overcome some hardships
Yeah.
in our season. And, like, I don't think we've really talked about it on this podcast.
No.
because
I don't even know how much of it we can really talk
No,
about.
I don't think we can.
I don't want to talk about it in too much detail, but we will say that shit hit the fan, and I'm surprised that we still have a team.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
That is very accurate. So the fact that we went into this with, like, so many Team Canada kids skaters, and then, like, some Team Alberta skaters, and then D-Ray,
Yeah, and
Question
D-Ray
mark.
was there, so...
who's, like, a Team Canada men's skater, and he skates for Toronto. And won?
Yeah,
Huh?
that was incredible.
So that was really great, because we had been focusing on all of these strategies, but, like, we had no idea if they were gonna work or not. Like, we were just like, dang, they work against ourselves when we know what's happening sometimes. Like, it's a solid 50-50 whether
Maybe
they
it'll
work
work
or not.
against somebody else.
Yeah, maybe it'll work. And then it did, and we were like, oh my god, this
Oh my
entire
God.
season hasn't been for nothing. And
That's incredible.
that was a genuine shock
Yeah,
to
that
most
was-
people.
That was nice.
And we were like so lucky to have Shrimp Magic.
Yep, shout out to Shrimp.
Like, the biggest shout out I think I could ever give, and like, I don't even know him that well, but the biggest shout out ever, because he drove all the way out from Saskatoon to Red Deer to coach us for this game, and then drove all the way out from Saskatoon again to fly with us to California. So, like, this man is ride or die. But he showed up, and he was just like, yeah, you guys are gonna do great. And we were like, okay. And he was like, no, you got it. And we were like, okay.
Yeah.
And, like, by God, did we got it.
We
It
had
was
it.
so
yeah.
great. And, like, we worked together, we were friends, the
Together.
vibes were so
It was-
good.
yeah.
And yeah. So Ferris, how was it for you?
I wore the C for the first time for the All-Stars, which was such an honor, and it was so nice to win that game with the C.
Yeah, that's cool.
You won that game. That was you.
Yeah.
That C shone so strong that you won the entire
blinded
game
them.
single-handedly.
I blinded them. Yeah, no, that game was fucking awesome. I don't remember that much from it. My apologies.
Yeah.
I've had bigger fish to fry over the past couple weeks, so...
Unfortunately, I wish that was the biggest fish we had.
Frish.
That was the biggest fish I had
I'm quitting the
tried.
podcast. That was my last straw.
No! The final score on that game was 229 to 169. So.
Hey.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a very fun game. I enjoyed it. Skid, your turn.
Well, the first 15 minutes of the game were fantastic. I had a great time.
Until disaster struck.
I was jamming and my knee kind of decided to
do a wraparound.
Yeah, I kind of decided to do a two-step, and I hurt myself, and then had a panic attack for the first time in a long time, and yelled at some people, and Daddy Taz proceeded to tell me to take off my skates, and then I did. But it was a lovely time. I had fun.
But it was great.
Yeah, I had a great time.
I have no complaints.
Literally, like, I know I've told you this, but, like, I've had so many people get hurt, and they're like, just, like, peace out.
Yeah.
And you showed the fuck up. And you, like, were, like, giving high fives to people. You were helping Shrimp. You were, like, just going like, you were a part of the team. And you stayed a part of the team even when disaster struck. And, like... Yeah.
Greatly appreciate
it. It was, like, so great just to have you on the bench and just, like, keeping everyone calm. I will compliment you until I die.
Okay. Well,
it was just great. And
thanks.
so...
I love you both. Yeah, no, that was a good time. I just didn't tape my knee properly, and I paid for it. But we got a whole system now, so it's good.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah.
I got a whole system now.
I got a whole system now. It's
2
fine.
weeks before Cosmo Chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was what happened leading up to Cosmo Chaos, and, like, that was... We definitely found some things we had to work on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, that was
Did we have time
point.
to do damage control?
No.
If you're gonna do what we did, make sure that game is, like, a month or two in advance to you leaving, not 2 weeks before.
Oh. It was the weekend before.
It was 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, because we had that, and then we had a break, and then we went.
We had one practice in between.
Which is very fucked up. Plan your schedules better if you're going to do that. That's all I will say.
Thank God we had that game at all. Like, it sounds like, I mean, I wasn't on leadership, but, like, it sounds like it was kind of a mad dash to get it all together, hey?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, kind of. Like, Cakes and I kind of talked about it when World Cup was happening. We were like, oh, we should do that. Like, that sounds like a really good idea. And then, like, it was just kind of, like, planning a day for it to happen.
Okay, well.
So, it wasn't...
It's fine.
It felt like a mad dash.
It felt like
everything has felt like a mad dash over the past couple months, so...
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
but
life happens fast when you're doing this.
Yeah. Wise words.
I could go into the whole, like, bit from the movie. I'm not going to do that.
What movie?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah. Oh, duh.
If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you'll miss it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Anyways, Cosmo Chaos. Let's hit
go.
it. So, for those of you who don't know what happened, again, we went to Oakland, California, and we played...
What teams did we play?
Let me tell you, we played Rose City Wheels of Justice.
Oh,
for those of you living under a rock, number 1 in the world.
Denver Roller Derby's Mile High Club.
Number 2 in the region.
And California Derby Galaxy Supernovas A team.
Which is literally, like, the California Bay Area travel team. Like, it's pulling from all
over
Bay
California.
Area.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we went to this tournament and played these teams.
With 13
With
people.
13 skaters!
For the first 2 games, and then only 12 skaters for the last game.
We'll get into that.
Oh my days.
That was foreshadowing.
Yeah.
To be continued.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
We're
a
gonna
secret tool
take
that'll help us later.
Yeah, we're gonna take another 2-month break before we explain that.
Oh my god.
No.
So, leading up to that tournament, our team was presented with a couple of options. And the options were we either go to Montana and we play Team Montana and Happy Valley, or we go to California and we play teams that we don't know who would also be going to California.
First of all, going to Manitoba, that was just like...
Montana.
Montana.
Manitoba is not on the table.
Sorry, my bad. Montana, the first time we went and played Montana was during a fucking snowstorm, and we decided to drive out there, so I was already like, nah, let's not do that.
Horror stories.
Horror
like,
stories.
I didn't go on that, but like...
I didn't either.
I did. It was awful.
The amount of like, none of us should made it back.
Yeah.
Should have made it back
it was
stories.
terrifying.
Just from driving there.
So, automatically, like, half the team was just like, yeah, let's go to California instead.
Yeah. And it was fucking California. Like, I like California. I want to go to Cali, not Montana.
Yeah.
So, we got into the tournament, and we didn't know who we were playing for, like, a good 2 weeks. So, Skid and I are sitting, eating our lunch at Death Con in Lethbridge.
Some fantastic chicken fingers.
They were mid.
They-
They were mid.
I thought they were great.
Okay.
Anyways, sorry. Shout out to the fucking concession dude
in Lethbridge. So we're sitting eating lunch with Rice Ball and Brad and Killary, and I turn to Brad and I'm like, "Hey, you're on leadership. Do you know who we're playing when we go to Cali?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you guys are playing Rose City and Denver." And I'm like, "Oh, they're B teams.
Yeah, cool.
Fuck. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm honored. That's really cool. I mean, shit, they're gonna crush us like fucking bugs, but let's go." And he's like, "No, you guys are playing the A teams." And I'm like, "Excuse me?"
Can you say that?
Pardon me?
Pardon me. Can you say that slower, please?
And then he whips out his phone, he pulls out the email confirming that we got in and confirming the teams that we're gonna be playing against, and lo and behold, Wheels of Justice, Mile High Club, staring me right in the fucking face. And I turned to Skid with like my face is white.
Yeah. I got up and I did a lap around like fucking eating area.
Do a lap.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell us.
No, I needed to stand up and like actually like not think about it for a second.
Like, they didn't say anything. They knew, but they didn't tell us. This was 4 months before the tournament.
Were we the only ones who knew?
We were the first people who knew. Outside of leadership at the time, we were the first ones who knew. And it took me asking purposefully on Slack after Brad had told us
strategically
for Brad to actually say who we were playing against. And I was so flabbergasted.
It's to see it in writing.
I remember getting that message. I was weeding Kenna's grandma's yard, and I like kind of stopped. And I was like, ain't no way. And I had to go inside and explain all of roller derby to Kenna's grandma so she could understand why I was like gobsmacked. Like, and she was like, wow. And I was like, yeah!
We're no shit, Grandma Kenna.
Literally.
And then we sprinted over to Pro, because Pro was also at DEF CON, and we were like, dog, you won't fucking believe who we're playing against in California.
You're not gonna believe this.
Oh, it was so fucking sick and twisted. And then I told Meow, what are you looking at?
Continue, don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah. And then I told Meow and Soups, and they laughed at me. They chuckled at my misfortune.
I also laughed at our misfortune, to be fair.
Okay, no, because it was like, yeah,
we knew that Wheels of Justice in Denver were gonna be at that tournament, but wasn't it like something like, oh, we don't know if we're actually gonna be playing them or not, because there was a bunch of other teams and shit.
At the time, none of the paperwork had been filled out, so it was like, okay, there's still a possibility that we might pull out or they might pull out. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like set in stone at the time, but it was like, if the paperwork goes through and no one backs out, you're playing these teams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, that was a... And then the whole ride back from Lethbridge was just us being like...
Silence. There was silence in the car.
We gotta start training.
Yeah.
Didn't know what we needed to train for.
Yeah, we
needed to train, apparently.
We gotta be good at everything suddenly.
Like,
post-haste.
So, like,
we need to do that yesterday, so...
It was so fucked. Like, that was...
The craziest news
You
I've
want
ever
to wage
received.
psychological warfare on somebody?
Do
that. Like, fuck.
Yeah, that got me good.
That was sick and twisted.
And, like, I was... So, like, playing in the U.S., like, you would play Canadian teams... 21, 48.
Yeah. Thank you.
42. You would play Canadian teams, and it would be kind of a joke. Like, because...
I believe that.
No, yeah, I'm sorry. I was like, is there another way to say it that's nicer? But like,
no, that's
Canada,
no, like, that's
it's really hard to play against other high level teams in Canada. Like, it's everyone's so spread out. You've got Montreal and
like
now us.
Yeah.
Like, and like, even then, that's like good for Canada. You know what I mean? Like in the U.S., everyone's so condensed that you can just go around playing. Everyone's so like. We'd be like, all right, we're going to go play Edmonton. And, like, Edmonton was very good at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And we crushed them. And we were like, what's next? You know? Come at us. And so realizing, like, oh, we're that team?
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, no.
Like, I was talking to Meow about it after the Junior World Cup and everything. And it was kind of like, you can put together the best junior team in the entire country and they'll absolutely demolish every other junior team in Canada.
Yep.
They will get fucking demolished by a B team in America.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
And it's, like, very similar for adult derby as well. Like, that is a very true statement, unfortunately.
It's unfortunate, isn't it?
Like, it's fucked.
It's regional, and it's, like... The infrastructure isn't as solid here, I feel like. And,
it's
like,
not.
No.
The population isn't there, and the money isn't there. Like,
the interest, like, not the interest, the, like, word of mouth.
Yeah.
Thing, you know?
And, like, it's just, like, a weird, like, geographical phenomenon.
Yeah.
And so, just knowing that, like, we're the Canadian team going into this international tournament.
Yeah.
That stressed me out. Like, if we're going to Montana, sure. You know, like, they're close enough. But, like, I've never been in a situation where I knew we were so outmatched. And we just had to, like, lay down and take it.
Yeah.
So we could know what we didn't know.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Which is so frustrating because I like winning.
Yeah, I fucking love winning.
I love it.
I do not like losing.
So going into that tournament knowing that we weren't gonna win but like knowing that we needed to play as best and as hard as we fucking could so that we could leave an impression that was big enough for them to be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. But that was like some, like you said, like psychological warfare type shit. Like, there was like, as much as I wish and fucking wish that we could have like beaten Rose City in the greatest upset.
Can you imagine?
The greatest upset in sports history ever.
I'm so glad we lost.
Yeah, like that was such a feeling. That was such a different play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that.
Do we want to get into the stats side of things too? I can like really quickly go
that'd be lovely.
what our thing is.
Yes,
so for those of you who are not mathy, which
don't
is
like numbers,
totally fine. So the other thing is like I'm one of the people on the team that looks at the stats and like tries to figure out who we need to play. So I also looked at this from a stats perspective. So all 3 games that we were playing are going to be close games. That means that these teams are within 15 ranks of us within our region. But Rose City and Denver were so far ahead of us in points that literally, if we lost by like a gazillion to 1, it wouldn't even matter with our points.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of complicated the way that like the actual ranks worked out, but like basically if we lost either the Denver game or the Rose game by more than 4 to 1, so like 400 points to 100 points or whatever combination thereof, nothing would happen with the rankings. Like, Rose would stay exactly the same, Denver would stay exactly the same, we would stay exactly the same.
Yeah.
If we lost by 3.9 to 1, so like we got 100 points, they got 399, that would affect the rankings. So, but any point margin larger than that, so say we lost 100 to 401, 400 gazillion, it would stay the same. So we were looking at this like we need to, like, worst case scenario, we stay exactly the same.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, we lose by less than a 4 to 1 margin.
Yeah.
The only thing that didn't follow those rules was the California game, because we were close enough in points that we actually we could go down in points.
Yeah.
Which, like, that wasn't an issue for the Rose and Denver game. So that was the one we were really trying to focus on in terms of, like, I don't remember what it was. It was like 3 to 1, more or less 3 to 1. If we lost by 4 to 1, we would go down in rankings.
Yeah.
And we did not want that to happen.
Yeah, because looking towards postseason and just how up in the air everything is, it's just like, we can't afford to do that right now.
No.
Yeah.
At all. Because how many opportunities are we going to have left to crawl our way back up in the rankings?
Not a lot.
But
No.
with the information that we have now, we have quite a few opportunities to do that.
Yeah.
But at the time, we didn't know.
And yeah, so like there's the ego side of this tournament in which we were like, we want to win and we know we're not going to, and that's really frustrating. There was the we're about to learn so much side of this, because like there's so much happening in the US that we just don't really have access to. And then there's also the point side where we were like, okay, but then we actually have to think about rankings. So like, what do we need to do to beat the spread, essentially?
Yeah.
So that was another aspect of it, where like the Rose and Denver game, we could just think about learning.
Yeah.
And like trying not to get too hurt about losing. But the California game, we actually had to think about points.
Yeah. That was very stressful.
That was super stressful for us.
Yeah. I think the most fuck-ass part of all of it was just, like, not knowing what we needed to do in order to prep for this.
Like, there's only so much, like, we couldn't just, like, flip our whole freaking script, like, right before going into this tournament. We just had to work on, like, what we knew and
Like,
fine-tune it, make it as good as possible. Because, like, there was no point in just being like, oh, we're gonna introduce 8 new things because this is how we're gonna beat Rose. And it's like, no, we need to, like, just patent, like, Jailbreak, for example. We need to, like
just
practice
solidify our
the
plays.
fuck out of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was stressful.
It was, and even just, like, outside of Derby, like, having a condition for that, it's just, like, I think we were all expecting 2-minute jams every single jam.
Yeah.
Like, 100% we were just like, they're gonna fucking kill us dead. So we were all like, okay, we got to do cardio.
Yeah,
they're
cardio.
gonna fucking wreck us.
Thanks, Roller Derby Athletics, for
Shut up.
yeah, seriously, for helping me with that one. But I mean, we did that. Like, we were doing 2-minute jams every practice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like, it tore us apart, but I
helped.
think it
It
really
helped a
helped.
lot.
It helped.
Yeah, just like building up that stamina. But it was just like the not knowing what we needed to be better at until we actually got there and played these games and played these teams, and we're just like, now post tournament, my third eye is wide fucking open.
Yep.
And I know what we need to get better at, but like, it's hard to explain the, like, lack of knowledge that we had going into this, because we've all watched these teams play for years.
Yep.
And we know what they do, we know what they're about, and, like,
it was one
it's
thing,
fucked.
like, having our team play against, like, getting ready for these games. Like, all the teams that we've played, yeah, they were tough, some of them were easy, and that's, like, kind of, like, the only competition that some of us know, right? Like, think about, like, the toughest game that we've ever played here. Like, what was the toughest game that we played this season? Was it Flower Power? Like, what was the toughest game? Like,
that would have been the
maybe.
closest thing.
that is, like,
Not even close.
Not even fucking close. And, like some of the players on our team didn't know what the fuck was coming for them. They were like, oh, well, that was hard. Okay, that's probably,
But
like...
we, like, got through it, and we...
Yeah, like, we're good. Like,
We're ready.
We're ready.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah.
Yeah, because, like,
you don't even know.
the closest thing that we had to skaters who kind of knew what we were going up against was you, Skid, because you had been to RollerCon, like, a month before the tournament, and had played
Stay tuned.
in
Stay tuned.
those big games with these big players.
like, half of the people that we played against this weekend, I've already played against them, and let me tell you, I got hit with some adrenaline rush that I've never felt before, ever, and it took me out, and coming back, and knowing that we had to play against those same people in, like, less than a month, I was like, dog, these people are gonna hit that adrenaline shock so hard, and there's nothing I can do.
And our skaters who skated on, like, national teams before, like, our Team Canada men's and women's alumni skaters, like, that's it. And we don't have a lot of those.
Yeah.
So, like, and, like, we saw a glimmer of it at the Junior World Cup, because it's, like, that's gonna be the same thing, like, with Team USA, but it's just gonna be on physically much larger scale, because these are full-grown adults, not children. But, like, holy shit.
And, like, I knew a lot of these skaters from when I was a junior, and, like, they rocked my shit when we were kids.
Yeah.
So, like, that was kind of also what I was thinking about, is I was like, I mean, we've all gained knowledge. Time has passed. So, like, all I have is that memory of them rocking my shit, and then knowing that time has passed.
Fuck.
So, like, I think not as much as you, Skid, but, like, I knew a little bit of what was coming.
You knew what was coming.
But at the same time, there were aspects of that game that we'll get into that, like, I was not prepared for. So,
yeah.
Alright.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the game.
Yeah. Before,
Well, okay.
we were fucked.
During, before, so
Also
really
fuck,
quick,
we were fucked.
let me walk you through the morning of,
Oh my god, I cried.
which we were all
Dog! I cried!
like, grieving. We were like pre-grieving.
Oh, quickly, before we get into this, I feel like we all went through the 7 stages of grief leading up to the
100%.
tournament. Like, I had so many coming to Jesus moments leading up, like, the weeks before, where I was just like, they're just people like you and I.
The amount of
It
times
doesn't
you
matter.
had that, holy shit.
It doesn't matter. It's just roller derby.
We
and
would
it was like,
Oh
oh god, it was so bad.
we would go through the cycle of like, we're just here to have a good time.
Yeah.
And then we'd like go through like, I think we can do this.
Yeah.
And then we'd go to,
Oh,
no. And then we'd be like,
We're
well,
gonna
you know
die.
what? Whatever. We're just here to have a good time.
Yeah.
And then it would just keep
Yeah.
going.
That whole cycle.
Like, the amount of times I had to talk to leadership and just be like, it's gonna be one bad weekend that's gonna knock our rankings out of the park, and then we're just gonna have to crawl back next season, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And in the back of my head, I was just like, I don't want that to be a thing, but that's kind of just the reality of the situation right now, and it is what it is. And again, they're just people, which is true, but it was
Very
also
true.
just like,
These are people that we've been watching since day one.
yeah, like, I cannot express to our American listeners how, like, teams like Calgary don't play teams like Rose. Period.
Yep.
We don't play teams like that. So this, to us, was like...
Hoy vey.
So, picture this.
Picture me this.
Close your eyes. Imagine this for a second. We are standing. Whoa. They're fighting right in front of my face right now.
I'm just doing some
Mama, Papa,
math.
please.
So, picture this. We're all standing in the Bay Area Derby warehouse.
Describe it to me.
Describe it?
Describe
Okay.
the arena to me right
It's
now.
very blue.
Kid's eyes are closed, ready
It's
to
so blue.
receive
It's
this.
so blue because there's sunlight trying to come in through the ceiling, but there's blue tarps in the way.
What's in the tarps?
Water, brown water.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the light is bouncing off of the sport court, which is
my
also
God.
blue.
Oh my
So
God.
it's so blue in there.
Oh yeah.
And then there are freckles of gold everywhere
Please.
because it's Bay Area Derby and they are gold.
How many half pipes were in this arena?
Maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah. Fuck
And then
yeah.
leading into the track, there are church pews and old, disheveled, lazy boys.
Yes.
So
Oh my
seeing.
God. Oh, so cool. What were the locker room? Explain how we got to the locker rooms.
So, when you walk in, there's a very steep cement ramp. And if you take a right, you go towards the track. If you take a left, you go towards the locker rooms.
Cool.
It's like being in a really old, squishy office building.
Yeah. Brown carpet.
Brown carpet, and the ceiling is also brown from the water.
It's falling apart.
And if you touch it a
You'll
little too
die.
hard, that water will come down on you.
Fuck.
And the walls don't, they're cubicle walls, so
Yep.
they don't go all the way up to the ceiling.
So you can peek.
You can peek over.
do a little peeping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the Bay Area Derby warehouse.
Fucking amazing.
Where
It's
we
so
played.
cool.
My favorite place I've played in
yeah.
all my years.
Yeah, that was the coolest
The
fucking
coolest place.
'Cause
Okay.
we don't have that shit here. We
No.
don't have, like, derby leagues in Canada don't have their own spaces.
We play in school gyms.
Yeah, and fucking
Church halls.
community association centers and, like, oh, Jesus, it's bad. It's bad up here.
It's rough out here.
It's real rough out here. But it was gorgeous.
It was the coolest thing.
It was the best, and I would go back and play there
Oh my God, yeah.
any day.
So once we
And-
got into the venue, you go. So you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're watching a game. We're watching. I don't even know who the fuck was playing.
I don't even remember who was
I don't-
playing.
And we're all just like standing there minding our own business, and then the wave of purple comes in.
Oh my God.
The wave
one
of
by one.
purple that is going to kill us in approximately an hour.
Yeah.
Kill us dead.
Like- Flatten us like Looney Tunes characters.
Oh my God.
And they're all like just chilling. And
Yeah.
I'm trying not to piss my pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
had
fucked.
you were stone cold Steve Austin.
I
The
know.
whole time. You had your shades on and your earbuds in. You were not talking to anybody.
No, I was trying not to cry again. Because that morning, I cried. I cried over breakfast. Don't know why, but I cried.
Yeah.
You had to have that moment.
The night before I woke up at like 3 a.m. and I thought I was having a heart attack. Because I was so scared.
That's amazing.
And then I went back to sleep. And I was like, I'll deal with this later.
And then we all woke up and had community breakfast together outside.
Yep.
And
It felt like a funeral breakfast.
Yeah.
And where we
It
were
was
just like
weird.
laughing so hard because
And
we
then
knew what was about to happen.
across the pond, there was
Oh
a
my
military
God.
base, right?
The
and
fucking
they-
Coast Guard was our neighbor for the weekend.
And they started playing the American National Anthem on the
Right.
trumpet.
Right on the dot at 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
And by God, did we salute it.
We saluted
We
it.
didn't know that it was the Coast Guard at the time, so that's our bad.
Yeah, but it's, you know what? Things happen.
That's
you know
okay.
what? It's okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then, okay, we did, what did we do? Fuck. So we
We-
got there, we
We
waited.
scoped it out.
scoped it
We
out.
sussed out the vibes.
Said hi to people.
Yep. Rose City came in. We had our call time.
Went out and did off skate.
Yep.
I was talking to Romero the entire time. So one thing about this game for me personally, if you've been paying attention, you'll know that I played for Rose City when I was a kid. And so this was like a weird, like, personal vendetta thing where I was like, I know a lot of these people and, like, I haven't seen them in a really long time. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, I had no idea what was going to happen, and so I was just like, I don't know, but, like, I got to see a lot of people that I was really close with when I was a kid. So I got to see Habanero Romero. If you are listening to this, which I don't think you will be, but you know what? Shout out. Anyways. And she was hyping us up so hard. She's like, you got this. I was like, girl!
Thank you.
But at the same time, she's like, I don't know why you guys are playing them. That's crazy. I was like, okay.
We don't know why we're playing them either.
Meanwhile, all of, like, Tarantula and Alicia Nisbet-Smith and Tenacity, who's also a homeboy, like, they were all coming in, and I was like, yeah, we got this. It's
fine.
So that was my experience. But
yeah,
so
I was having war flashbacks to the last time Calgary played Evil, and I had my mental breakdown, and I remember that game specifically when Evil was arriving to the venue, and I freaked out because Taz and Razor were there, and I was like, fuck, they're gonna kill me. So I was trying not to do that again as I saw all of these skaters walk into the venue. I was just like, I can't look at them, because if I look at them, I'm gonna start thinking about it, and then I'll cry again.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after we did our off skates, we came back and we started gearing up, and were we first warm up?
We were second warm up.
Second warm up?
Yeah, no, that shit was fucked because we had second warm up, and then right as our warm up ended, the game started. So we had like no cooldown time. It was just like,
just boom,
let's
go.
fucking, let's get into it, I guess.
Let's
Rip
get
the
her done.
Band-Aid off.
Get her done, guys.
The first jam was actually really good because
It was Chris.
Much got out, and then Chris was out maybe 10 feet behind her.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was
I
insane.
lost my shit.
I screamed so loud. I was like, maybe we can do this. And then I jammed second, and I was like, I don't think we can do this, boss. I got out of the pack, which was very surprising.
You forced a call off.
I did, but I think they got like 16 or 17 points before that happened.
We all, like, because of how scared we were, we all whoa.
Yeah.
Sorry, that,
Got it.
you know?
Yeah.
Because of how scared we were, we all set...
I'm frightened.
Because of how, like, frightened. How spooked we were, we set attainable goals for ourselves. And one of them was to try not to have too many 2-minute jams, like to force call-offs.
Yeah.
And by God, did we do that.
Yeah, there were only 6 2-minute jams in that whole game, and our goal was to have, like, less than 10.
Yes,
so there
that's
was
good.
that.
Yeah.
And it was like, force the call-off, you know?
Pass the cat!
By God, did we force that call-off.
Yeah, we sure did.
Like...
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm trying to remember, because, like, Skid and I just watched this game the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember things that happened in it.
It's on YouTube if you want to go see it.
Yeah,
go watch
if you
it.
want to watch the bloodbath.
It's on WFTDA, YouTube.
Yeah.
Cosmo Chaos.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what? All of the jammers got out of the pack multiple times in the game. All of the jammers got lead. All of us scored points.
The first 4 points
You
in
did.
the game.
I
That
scored
was
the second
crazy.
3.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, it was fucking... It was
crazy.
gnarly.
Yeah.
It was crazy getting, like, lead the first time. Like, everybody getting lead
Yeah.
for the first time. Crazy.
That
It
was insane.
Such a crazy
Everyone on the
feeling.
bench, we were, like, on our feet.
We were feral.
We were going feral.
Yeah.
We were feral.
And, like, Rose City is such a professional, calm team. They were just, like, quiet, like,
Yeah.
talking amongst themselves. We were on the other bench, like,
Like, screaming.
freaking out. And I like no regrets.
No,
No,
The other thing about this tournament was that there were no spectators.
Oh
It
yeah.
was fucking quiet in that
So
bitch.
quiet.
It was so quiet. So the fact that we had the bench going as crazy as they did
is because we had nothing else.
it was so nice to
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
that.
It was
'Cause,
crazy.
Like, we are so used to, like, as jammers especially, like, having a crowd to kind of, like, feed off of, like, that energy.
Yep.
And not having that was just like, this is gonna feel really fucking weird, but having the bench and then, like, the few teams that did stick around after their game or were waiting for their game.
Yeah, losing their shit.
Yeah, it was
for us.
so
That
nice.
was so great. You could like hear skaters that we had talked to before.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
shout out to Baby and Val.
Oh,
Baby
We know
Love
you're
you
listening to this
guys.
one. Y'all got us through this tournament.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you
be
really
real.
fucking did.
And all the Baja girls.
All the Baja girls, all
Yeah.
of the like Tucson
Yes.
team, the Tucson. Shout out to them too. They were there as their seeding tournament.
That's fucked.
I was talking to them. They're like, yeah, we basically got a team together like last month. And I was like, oh, we
Wow.
thought we had a bad time.
Yeah.
Like good luck, but they killed it.
They did
And,
so
like,
fucking good.
oh my god, and they have the cutest merch ever, and they're so nice, and they were like watching all of our games and cheering
That's
us
so
on, and it was
lovely.
so
Yeah.
amazing. So like we didn't have outside spectators, but like
Yeah.
teams showed up for each
Yeah,
other. It
Yeah,
was
it was
great.
It was
nice.
fucking awesome.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
How, what were the stats for that game?
All right, let's talk about it. So
We lost by 399 points.
yes, we did.
They did not get 400. Mark, jot that down.
Yeah.
My words.
So the final score was 428 to 29.
Yay, go Calgary, we're on the board. We got double digits.
We got double digits. And
'Cause-
yeah.
I'm not shitting you. We legit thought that we were either not going to get on the board or we were not going to leave the single digit territory.
I thought we were gonna get 10
yeah.
or 15 maybe.
I thought we were gonna be able to leave saying we got double digits,
Yeah.
but like
barely. Like
so
11.
the fact that we got almost 30,
Almost
not
30,
30, but
almost.
Fucking almost.
that was a win.
Yeah.
So the expected ratio was 20 to 1, which means, so like I was talking about ratios before, but like if we're just talking about points here, that's 200 points to 10, or 20 points to 1, or 2,000 to 100.
Okay, what did we
Yeah.
get?
Like-
29?
Yeah. So the end result, it was about 15 to 1, which is better. Is it great? No. But you know what?
We beat the spread.
We beat the spread, and that's
crazy.
That was a win for us because
Yeah.
we like the fact that it was expected to be like 200 to 10, something like that. I mean, it kind of was, but like,
Not really.
oh yeah, I guess so. It was 200 or it was 400 something to, I don't know, numbers.
We did better than
We did better than expected.
We've been
Whoa!
we did better than we expected to do,
Yes.
and then what others expected us to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
And like it was a low bar, but by God did we pass it.
Yeah,
and
we
honestly,
jumped
with
it.
Rose,
That's incredible.
it's incredible.
Incredible.
It's
Yeah.
incredible. So yeah.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
That was
how
a good
was it
game.
jamming against Rose City?
Fucking terrifying.
It was.
It was suffocating.
Yeah.
That's like that's the one word that I would use to describe it. It was suffocating
It
because it
was-
was just like they are like physically.
you will face first in everybody's tits.
I'm
every single
sorry, I'm little.
time. No wonder it was suffocating. You couldn't breathe.
It was just like because they just were so good at like crowding you and taking your space away.
Oh yeah.
And there was like no wiggle room anywhere.
It was, if I had to describe it, it was like door closing.
Yeah,
Like it was
right
like
in your face.
yeah, like fucking I work done. Boom. Like
Yeah.
we just got divorced. Like
Yeah.
that's what it felt like, cuz like every time I would have a glimmer of hope, like I would get by that tripod, that fucking fourth person would come out of nowhere
Yeah.
and just be like, "Nah, that's
Yeah.
okay actually."
Yeah.
Just denial.
Yeah.
Denial.
Every single time.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was so
The Nile is a river in Egypt. That man is gay.
Rose City is a river in Egypt.
Anyways, what was it like blocking the best jammers in the entire world?
What was that like?
Can I have a moment of silence?
Just start playing
Okay.
taps.
Literally.
I'm playing the
We
trumpet.
don't need a trumpet.
I'm
We've
playing
just
the
got
trumpet.
Ferris.
Ferris
Yeah,
is the trumpet.
I
So-
am the trumpet.
The only, like, I've been trying to figure out how to describe what it's like not knowing what to expect and then going out and blocking against Rose. But basically, like, you'd be out, you'd be like, I can do this. And then you would, 5 seconds would call, you'd be like, all right, you know, roll back, change whatever. They would respond to you immediately.
Yeah.
You go, that's fine. And then...
Because it's like, you go in and you have a plan, and then you're like, no, I'm going to change my plan. And that's about as far as you get.
Yeah.
And then Rose is like 18 steps ahead of you. And
They're
like,
playing chess. We're
we
playing
have-
checkers. They're playing
Yeah. But
unfortunately.
also on the jam line, like, first of all, already just mortifying being on the jam line. That is, like, you're so vulnerable when you're there because you're by yourself and everyone's staring at you.
Dog, yeah.
Like you're a fucking slab of meat. And then they start throwing out these battleship plays
Yeah.
at you.
It's
And-
looking like a B. It's looking like a B11 actually. Nah, it's looking more like a fucking triangle pinpoint 2-9 or 45, and it's like what?
And you're
And then
like,
you take
huh?
you take one step to the left, and they're all like diamond 48, and then move, and you're like,
Oh.
Like, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
yeah. So like you line up, and like it's you suddenly lose control,
Yeah.
which is something that like I'm not super used to.
Yeah.
So I was like, at a certain point, you're just like, all right, whatever happens,
Okay.
happens. Like,
Yeah,
whatever.
legit.
Whistle blows, you're on the floor. Like, it's,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay.
All right.
And it's like, suddenly, like, the people that were next to you are like across the track, and you're like, how'd you get over there? And then the jammer's like also across the track, and you're like, wait. And then the jammer's jumping the straightaway, and you're like, weren't you just across the track? And then your jammer's like crying, and you're like, I don't know what to do right now. And it's just like, I had these moments where I would like land a hit on the jammer or land some pretty good and I'd be like, oh, these are people, but like,
Yeah. They're people just like you and me.
just like you and me. Like, they had childhoods, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like the rest of us.
You don't, so don't even say that.
I did that one time. It was
Went
my,
like this.
it was my sweatpants at the gym.
Both legs straight out, puts the pants on.
Boom.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
I was in a hurry, okay?
you couldn't even bother with that one at a time
No.
shit. No, but like,
Jesus.
yeah, you'd land a hit on them and you'd be like, okay. And I'm used to like, all right, hit, turn around, go. And like, you'd hit them out and then they'd be ahead of you.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, how did you do that? Like, I didn't
Yeah.
even see you come in.
Yeah.
Or like, you'd hit them down and you'd be like, okay, everyone would regroup. And then suddenly O would come in, separate you all. Like, not just take one off. No, you would all be separated and the jammer would be gone. And you'd be like, oh, so close, man.
Dog,
Yeah.
I didn't look at anybody.
You didn't.
Like, whoever I was jamming against, I did not look at them. I had no idea who I was jamming against for
Good.
that entire game.
It was Bonnie. Like
9
90%
times out of 10 it was Bonnie. Like, all of the Rose City jammers, they're all kind of the same height.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know who's standing next to me, and I'm too afraid to check. So I'm just like, horse blinder. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go straight, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was paired up with Much a lot.
Yeah.
And which was so stupid. Worst decision. And then Beyond Thunder Dame.
Mm.
And went out with Regs when she was out there too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't go out against Bonnie at all. You
It was
were
me.
It was you.
It was me. I took that bullet.
Yeah, you really
I don't
did.
know if that was a wise choice, but
You took
it was a choice. Choices were made.
Yeah, and like, you look at the game, at least the little part that I watched, and like, it looks like we're just standing there being like, after you, No, after you. You know, like,
Parlez-vous?
parlez-vous?
Parlez-vous.
Yeah. No, after you, and just, like, watching the jammer go by, because we kind of were, like,
yeah, at that point.
but at the same time, like, how fast it was is not captured. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this game is, like, the biggest...
It was...
Well...
the biggest game any of us have ever played, and honest to God...
I want more.
From me, as a person and as a skater, I've seen the summit, I've seen the top of the mountain. I don't ever want to go back to how we were before that game.
Yeah.
I'm making a house right here.
I'm setting up camp. Even if I'm not welcome, I'm setting up camp at the top of this mountain. You can't get rid of me. I'm stuck up here.
I'm so glad we have people like you, because I came off of that game being like, what just happened?
Dude,
you know,
I want more.
I
want so much more.
I also want more.
That was so
but
nice.
if you asked me what we need to do differently, my best answer is everything. And then just move on. Like, that's it. I'm sorry.
That's
and
true.
like, I mean, it's true, but like, I mean, not to sweep what we have done and what we did do. Like, it's just such a different level
so
of
different.
play.
Different.
From what, like, I remember the first time I ever went to an All-Stars practice, and we did 5-on, and we were just like I was in the middle of the track, like, waiting for my turn to go out on the track, and Fluster had asked me, like, he was like, so how is it? And I'm like, it's fucking fast.
Yeah.
That's how that game was. Like, I thought playing for the All-Stars was fast.
Mm-hmm.
That shit,
That was light speed.
like, holy fuck.
Like whiplash.
Yeah.
Literally.
And I feel like in, 5 years or something, we'll look back on this and be like, we knew nothing. You know?
Yeah.
But, like, right now, all I can do is just be like, okay.
Yeah.
Just their knowledge of the basics is just so...
It's so
because
good.
they made the basics,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that is
like,
true. That is true.
They're the ones that did it, so it's just, like...
It's crazy.
We're just playing catch up to their game now.
Yeah,
Ketchup.
I mean...
Ketchup.
Mustard. I swear to God, if I get any comments about mustard, I'm gonna kill you all.
Sarah, get her.
Sicker. So, anyways, I feel like we should move on, but, like, that was the tone setting for this.
That was a crazy way to start a tournament, I'll tell you that much.
Crazy, funny, silly. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Rose, for the game.
Opportunity.
And, like, I hope we... Oh, something just happened. A ghost.
Where's my sheet?
I hope that we will have an opportunity... Sorry, I just punched you.
I hope that we'll get an opportunity to do that again.
Yeah, and, like...
Anyways,
so I feel like
yeah.
we need time to reassess, and then I want to play them again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Denver.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
over here. I can't
yeah.
hear you.
Why'd you do
I
that?
just punched a hole through the ceiling.
Let's see if I can do it.
So, that was our first day. That was our only game the first day.
Yeah.
And
then we went for pizza. It was very good. And then we went back to the hotel and we took a little nap, a little sleep,
a little snooze.
and then woke up the next day ready to take on the day.
I was I won't say I was sore, but I felt everything brewing from the fucking Woj game. When I woke up the next morning, I was like, "Ooh."
I legit was so tired. Like, I was ready to fall asleep standing up, waiting for the Denver game to start.
I took Chris's pre-workout for that game. I was like, I'm so tired.
I was feeling great.
I should've
Thanks,
done
roller
that.
derby workout. Or roller derby athletics. Jesus.
Roller derby workout.
Yeah. They're coming out with a pre-workout called roller derby that's not true. Like,
That's not true.
Don't sue me, please.
Yeah. Going into day 2 after Woj was fucking rough.
Yeah.
And so, we were the first team that Woj played in the tournament. We were also the first team that Denver played in the tournament. Which was sick and twisted. Because what the fuck?
I feel like I had a personal thing with Rose. Because
Skid
of
had a
her
personal
history.
thing with Denver.
Skid had a personal thing with Denver. Do you want to explain why?
Do you want to get into it?
Okay.
So, if you don't know,
I am kind of obsessed. I've been obsessed with Denver since I was a wee lad. They are my favorite team. And I've been obsessed with Scald Eagle since I was about, 15 or 16. And if you don't know who Scald Eagle is, she played for Rose City once upon a time and then moved to Denver with her sister, Braun Swanson. And she plays for Denver. And this whole tournament, I was like, oh, well, she, who knows? I don't know if she, what? If she comes, she comes. If she doesn't, she doesn't. And there was rumors that, she wasn't going to come. And I was like, you know what? I'm willing to face this. It's just not my time. I feel like it's not destined to be. It's just not in the books. And then somebody messaged me and was like, well, X messaged me and was like, oh yeah, she's here. And I was like, okay, cool. That's great. That's Scald Eagle has entered the group chat. And holy shit. Let me tell you, I can't tell you because I don't know how to tell you, but oh my god, that was so cool. I had a great time. That was cool. That was so cool, guys. Shit. Okay. You guys talk.
Our turn.
Please talk. Please.
What a game. That, you know what?
That was such a fun game.
That was actually, arguably the most fun game of the whole tournament.
That was so good.
Do you want me to talk about the stats?
Yeah,
for that
dude.
game?
Yes, please.
Let's run some numbers
Let's
here.
run some numbers. So the expected loss for us was 7-1. Again,
Which is a
not great.
significant jump from 20 to 1. So,
Significant.
Good on us for
We're making it up there.
Yeah.
doing something.
The final score was 352 to 93.
That's not bad.
That's
Which,
not bad.
honestly, not bad. But the important part, go rewind back to when I said that if we win by, or if we lose by any less than a 4-1 ratio, then we will go up in rankings. We won. Jesus, we did not win this game. Please don't. I'm trying to cheat myself into thinking we won this game.
We did not.
We emotionally won this game.
Emotionally.
But we lost by 3.78 to 1, which means we went up in rankings because of this game, which was such a big deal. So we were losing our minds. We were losing our minds because of it. And, we also made Denver go down a little bit because of it.
Sorry, besties.
But it also made me feel really good emotionally.
Yeah,
So
it
especially
was-
after that Woj game where we just got pounded, it was nice to have a physical win.
Yeah, it was a very fun game, and this is a call out to Evil X specifically. Dog.
Love
Okay.
you.
First of all, I was talking to Jack, Ruthless Red's husband.
Shout out to Jack.
Shout
And
out to Jack.
He was like, he told me, he was like, you were the second fastest person at this tournament. The first fastest was Evil X. So, we gotta race one of these days.
Yeah. Dog, that was such a fun fucking game.
That was
great.
Oh
I
my
love
god.
every single person from Denver.
Yeah.
So kind,
Oh
so
my God.
lovely.
They were so much fun on the track.
Yes.
You'd be lining up and they'd just be like, "Hey," and you'd be like, "What?"
We're people too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And not to say that Rose was rude.
They were just very professional.
They
Yeah,
were just
Rose
very
was-
professional.
yeah.
They stuck to themselves and they just
They showed up.
did the thing.
They did their job,
Yeah.
and Denver also did their job, but they were a lot more lax about it, which
Yeah.
was just
Interactive.
It was more
Yeah.
what we were used to.
yeah, because that's you play derby up in Canada, that's what we do.
Yeah.
to
If
each
you had
other.
to
We're all
Explain it.
apologizing to each other. And
It's
whatever.
like when you go to a museum and you have things that you look at, and then you have interactive exhibits.
Yeah.
And Rose was the stuff that you were allowed to look at and not
Rose was
touch.
the art.
blocked off, and then Denver was the cool art that you
The,
got to interact
the
with.
sand pit that you get
Yeah.
to be in.
And then you get buried, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
So what was it like to jam?
Okay,
You
so
go first.
it was a totally different ball game because Denver has such a variety of size in their team
Mhm.
that it was I wasn't going face first into tits all the time, I was getting taken out of the knees in this game, which was
Yup.
something new and spicy that I haven't had to deal with in a while. So I was like, it's nice. This is very nice. It was a very physical game, like, compared to Woj.
yeah.
Like, Woj,
Strategical.
they take you and they put you in a jar and then they shake that jar around, but you're contained in a jar, so, like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Denver, you were just getting jostled.
They take you and the jar and throw them separately.
Yeah, they throw you first, then the
Then the
jar.
jar.
Like, those TikToks where people throw jars downstairs.
Yeah,
That's
that-
what Denver did to
yes.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but in a fun way.
In a fun way.
I'm
You
gonna
keep
be real.
watching
I
it.
kind of prefer that because
Me
like
too.
when we lost against Woj, I was like, and for like I feel like I didn't do anything. Like
Yeah.
y'all were sore. I'm like I wasn't joking about roller derby athletics. Like thank you, but I was like, I feel fine. You know.
Yeah.
But after that Denver game, I was like, okay, I tried. You know.
Yeah.
We were hurting
Yeah.
after that Denver game.
That I got thrown. I was doing somersaults.
Yeah, you were.
I did like 6 somersaults in that game, dog. I don't know what I was
So
doing.
great.
I was
Like-
being like Link from Legend of Zelda,
Yeah.
rolling through the fucking fields.
It was, but
Oh,
it
it's
was so
lovely.
fun, and like
We were
the-
just laughing the entire time.
Yeah,
It
like-
was so fun.
the attitude was just very like uplifting
Mm-hmm.
and positive. So it was like we were getting fucking demolished, but it was a fun, cool way
Mhm.
of being demolished. Not like a
Yeah.
we're getting killed and this sucks. It was like, ah ha ha, okay.
But I still want you to be my friend.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But
Yeah.
so.
But I was much more aware of who I was jamming against
Yeah.
in that game because I looked at them.
Who'd you stick your arm out in front of?
Everyone.
Every
I
single
stuck
person.
my arm out in front of every jammer, but Scald and X fought back against it, which was so
That's
funny. Because, like, I'll do it to Skid. I'll stick my arm out in front of Skid, and then we, like, kind of fight back and forth of, like, no, my arm is in front of yours, fuck you. And then X did that to me, and I was like, this is
good.
This is nice. I like this. And Scald would just, like, straight up block me as soon as the whistle went. I was
Yeah.
like, this is also nice. I like this.
I want to say something so
Say it,
so
say
I can
it.
redeem myself from my fucking fangirl moment that just happened like 3 minutes ago. Watching, like, okay, playing Woj was cool, because that's, like, you know, like, who gets to do that shit, right?
Not us.
Well,
Apparently we do it
we
now.
do it now, but, it was just, like, something else to play against a team that you've admired for so fucking long and that you've, like, looked up to. And then, you know, like, you've watched these people, you've, like, slow-moed their videos, you've broken down every single move and studied it and practiced it on your off time, at practice, like, just trying to master these things that you admire about certain players. And then all that fucking hard work through all those years, and then finally you go out on the track and you're face to face with all those people, dog.
Dog.
I can't even explain to you how fucked up and how cool that is. Like, I don't know, it's just like, I don't want to, like, I love our team and the fact that we worked so fucking hard to get to that moment. Like, we would not have been able to do that without this team and without all, like, the sacrifices, struggles, and successes that we've done through all of our past teams to this team now. So, like, dog, that's so crazy. I can't believe that fucking happened. I just think
the
that's so
stars
cool.
aligned.
The stars aligned, and, like, oh, and I just wanna give, like, a little shout out, but, like, also a big shout out to fucking Shrimp for that again, because, like, all that hard work and shit, like, I moved here so I could get to that level, and then I had to leave everybody behind, and then fucking Shrimp was my coach in Saskatoon, and all of a sudden they're like, you know who we should ask? You know who we should bring along? Shrimp. And I was like, shut up. Yeah, we should. And then he came, and it was like having a little piece of home, and all that, like, connection and work from everybody back home, where I was like, I wish I could bring everybody. And then he came, and it was just like having everybody there with me
but through one person, and it was him, and it was just like, it was something else, dog. It was so good.
Don't make me cry now.
That's what made me cry at our fucking team meeting, dog. Just thinking about
We were
that,
all
like,
bawling at our team.
yeah, it was so good.
Yeah.
What was it like for you, Smacky?
Yeah.
Your turn.
Your turn.
It's fine.
Try
No.
to
No,
go
I will tell a story that I'm like still cringing about, but I think it's kind of funny, so I'll tell
Please.
it anyways. So I'm really happy because I knocked Scald out and dragged her all the way back.
Fuck
Yeah, you did.
And like, did she get past me immediately? Yes. But you know what? That's something I need to work on. Right. So she got around me immediately, but as I was drawing her back, for some reason I was like, I should say something. So I went, truly an honor, really, to Scald Eagle as I was drawing her back, and she kind of looked at me and went, okay.
Dog! Please!
That's so hot.
I have to quit, actually.
Actually,
Turns out
don't.
I have to quit. And, like, it's so funny, because why the fuck would I say that?
I have a huge crush on you now because you fucking did that. That's so funny.
It was just, like, also, like, I'm really bad with silence. That's why I'm on a podcast. And so the fact that there was, like, no one there, and it was just silent, and Scald was watching me as I was going back, I was like, let me fill the silence. Why did I do that?
It gives them Milady vibes.
Yeah,
Bro.
after you. But, so that was stupid.
And then she re-entered and rocked your shit.
It rocked my shit, and, like, God bless her for it.
Oh, that's
because she did it with
incredible.
a smile on her face.
That's incredible.
That's
But-
amazing.
Yeah, like, I think, I don't know what could be said that hasn't already been said. Well, been said.
Be said.
Give me bop, bop, bop.
I'm gonna start.
Scatman.
Yeah, I'm gonna start scatting.
Yeah.
It was a super physical game, but, like, so much fun.
It
and,
was
like,
so much fun. Denver, please play us again.
Please. And we also want to party with you.
Yeah,
but, like,
please, besties, help us.
Oh my god, and, like, Klein, the monkey body double.
Oh my god.
And
I'm
so-
obsessed with
I've
Klein.
never realized it until you guys said it, and I was like,
Okay.
Dude,
No.
do it,
Okay.
say it.
So,
oh my god.
picture this. Monkey, Klein, Julian Baker.
Stop.
Klein's right in the middle. Monkey's on one side, Julian Baker on the other.
So Klein is a mixture of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop.
It's insane.
That's crazy.
I know.
I have such a big crush.
I know, me too.
Oh my god, like, it's just such a mindfuck.
Dog.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
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 We need to get a picture of. Okay, Tacos, if you're listening to this right now, we need to get a picture of you with Monkey immediately, and we need to fucking get that done.
Not me saying that I have a crush on Klein, forgetting that she might be listening to this. I feel normally about you. Truly an honor, really.
Truly an honor, really.
That's so funny.
But yeah, like, it was just,
It was
they
so
hit
fun.
me, and I was like, yeah.
This
Not
is
Klein,
good.
just everyone. Like,
This is a good feeling.
yeah, exactly. I like, with Rose, they just juke me, and I'd be like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they would hit me, and I could hit them back, and I was like, hee hee, I'm a real boy, you know? I'm not just like, I have a corporeal form that I can use.
I'm a real
boy. It was so nice.
That's so funny.
It's so refreshing. They still beat us, but like, we played hard.
That was a
Yeah.
good
And
physical
apparently, I'm gonna call, I don't actually remember who said this, but Shrimp told us that someone from Denver said that we hit really hard, and they had to like up their
Up
hitting
the
a little
ante.
bit,
Yeah.
and we all did like a
We were like,
unanimous
oh,
hair flip.
Yeah.
thank you.
And we were like, oh my god,
Yeah.
yes, that's
No
crazy.
way, thank you so much.
'Cause I love hitting.
Yeah.
I love hitting. So, yeah, that was a really great game.
Yeah,
And, like,
Thank you.
due to time, I think it's the one that we have to spend the least amount of time on, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Please.
Again!
Again.
So,
No one's gonna get that reference.
Fuck. You know what?
It's fine.
I'll make it happen.
if you can get the reference, come up to us or message us and be like, I know what this is from.
If you know the reference, fucking
Comment
put it-
below.
Comment below. There's only one right answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, is it just one word? Yes.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. It's there's
Again.
one.
again.
The main points for this game.
Okay,
the
so
point spread.
our final game that we played of the weekend, which was 6 hours after we played Denver, also sick and twisted, also very fucked up, but we won this one, so it's okay. California Derby Galaxy Supernovas A team.
Let's talk about the stats.
Jinx.
Oh.
You owe me a soda.
It's called a pop.
A sody pop.
I'll kill you where you stand.
I need a fountain pop now.
Yikes. So we were supposed to lose this game, which
Yep.
was very exciting, but it was 1.9 to 1. So it was almost 2.
Yeah.
Like, they're supposed to
almost.
beat us by about 2 to 1. But we beat them, which was a super big upset. Whoa.
The woman has fallen.
No.
No.
Sorry, a poster just fell and shook our world. We have to talk about this now. No, yeah, we won, and it was like such a close game. We were so evenly matched.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I knew going into that game that was going to be the one that, like, was going to be the battle. Because the
Yeah.
other two, like, didn't really matter what happened. Like, play the best Derby that you can.
Yeah.
But just, like, we're not winning this. That game was like,
We need to win
we
it.
need to win.
And-
Like, you two had personal things with the first 2 games. I had personal things with this game
Yeah.
that I'm not going to talk about. Supernovas, incredibly nice
Incredibly
team.
nice.
They
Like,
were so sweet.
you could confuse them for another Canadian team. That's how nice they were.
Exactly, which is a big compliment.
That's a big compliment.
An honor.
It was an honor and a privilege. And there were so many, like, ex-juniors that we
Yes.
all recognized.
Yeah.
from
Shout
different
out.
things.
That was crazy. Like, it was crazy playing against so many people who have also been through
What we
Yeah.
the JRDA.
Yeah.
But we're, like, icons in the JRDA. Like, I was like, I watched you play when you were a child.
Yeah.
I watched you at Champs.
Mhm.
However many years ago that was.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and like I played against some of them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you look familiar.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like now we are meeting as adults,
Yeah.
and
It's
like
crazy.
time passes, you know.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
Weird all
but
the
it was just like
time
really
gone.
hard fought, and it would go back and forth. Like they'd be in
Yeah.
the lead, and then we'd be in the lead. We have to talk about the last jam.
Please.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so I got ejected
Oh
from-
my god.
I got ejected from the game, because I decided to do a baseball slide into the back of somebody's legs. My bad. I didn't mean to do that.
My bog. My
bog. I was going too fast, and I slipped when I tried to slow down. Anyways, I was watching all of this from the sidelines and third base coaching when I wasn't supposed to be, but I was doing it anyway.
Well, everyone had a third base coach. It was
Yeah.
fine.
I was grounded. I was supposed to go wait in the locker room.
Oh, that's true.
I
forgot
wasn't
about
even
that
supposed to be in the
part.
crowd. I was supposed to be in the locker room, and I was like yelling at everybody. Everybody was like staring. It was funny.
Fucking goon.
Yeah,
Dude.
my bad.
So we were down a jammer because of. I mean, like
We were down a jammer.
It was definitely
but we were
circumstances,
down to 12 skaters
Yeah.
in arguably the most important game of the tournament, and it was just like,
You
Like-
guys got it.
your ejection kind of like shook the bench in a way that I hadn't felt all weekend, and trying to like rein everyone in and be like, just keep fucking going.
Yeah.
We
And
can't.
we had no choice.
we can't sit on this. Like, just
Yep.
keep
Yeah.
doing it. Skid's okay. It just happened. Just fucking just go.
Just
Yeah.
go.
Just do your fucking job. Shut up.
Yeah.
Go.
At that point, we just had to put our heads down and be like, "This is fine."
Yep.
You know, and like,
Kick the horse in the ass. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do it.
literally.
so it was the last jam. The jammers were so tired,
Oh yeah.
and blockers were like, "Damn, sorry about that."
Yeah.
And like Taz, one of our main
Taz was sitting at 6 penalties.
pivots.
Yeah,
For
for like the whole game.
50 minutes
Yeah,
of that game.
That's fucked.
6.
That's fucked.
And we're like, I swear to God, if we have to go down to 10, like, or 11,
11?
I can't
Oh.
count.
days. That
So that was also
sucked.
something that was on our minds. So
I didn't know about that until like
The
halfway through the
well,
second
that's
period.
why I pivoted for you at one point.
Yeah, and then the one time that you did pivot for me, I didn't get lead, and I was like,
I was
fuck.
wondering why the fuck you were doing that too. I was like, are they just fucking around? Are they just
No.
like having a good time?
It was
out
me
there?
and Twitch switching off.
That's crazy.
Because
Yeah.
I wanted to take the star off and pass it, but I was like, I'm not fucking doing that.
You know
to
what's
you.
crazy though? I had a really good out. Like I was like going, and then I think someone didn't see it, and like suddenly the jammer was coming in, and you weren't taking it off, and I was like, okay, you know what? Whatever.
I was panic.
Which fair, like you're
The
you're
capital
real
P.
for that because I don't pivot for this team. Like I
Yeah.
don't jam, I don't pivot. Like I'm just trying my best. So the fact that I pivoted from that was fucked. But anyways, the point is that everyone was exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Last jam,
Fuck.
it was so close. Like it could have been like whoever got
Yeah.
lead in that game in that jam like
was
would
pacing
probably
back and forth
would have
so
won
And
the
the
game.
clocks
bad.
were matched up too,
Yeah.
so it was like that was
Clock.
that was the last jam. Like
Yeah, that was it. Like
that was it. That was gonna be the last one.
that was it. And so like Pro goes out. Friend of the show. Pro. We all, if you've been paying attention, you know Pro's origin story, Pro's
Yeah.
lore,
Yeah.
if you will.
this is
If you haven't heard that, this is very important to this story.
go listen
Pause.
to that
Pause.
episode. Come
Go
back.
listen.
We'll
Come
wait.
back.
We're
Yeah.
just right here. We'll be here for you when
Yeah.
you get back.
Yeah.
So
We can't start without you.
so Pro lines up. Everyone's on the edge of their seats.
Yup.
Pro gets lead
Yeah.
like pretty quickly,
Yeah.
and we all lose it. Does the other jammer get a penalty?
Other jammer gets
It's
a penalty.
and then 2 blockers of theirs go to the box.
Yeah.
Halfway through.
It was like a crazy like, oh my god, this is actually gonna.
This
Yes,
is
it
happening.
happened. And then all you got, like all the blockers from our side, just held back and were just like, we're not gonna get in the fucking way. Like
Yeah.
Pro, just do your thing.
Yeah.
And it was just lap after
Laps.
lap after
28
lap after
points.
lap. It was
28
so
points.
fucked.
And you could see the color,
Color.
in their face.
Like Pro that whole weekend was notorious for not running a 2-minute jam.
Yeah.
And that was the one that was like, you are not fucking allowed to call this jam.
Yeah,
you
don't
have to
do it.
finish this.
Every single time Pro came around the track, I would like yell at them to breathe, and they would go.
And the fucking look on their face
Was-
when Shrimp and I told them to keep going.
It was like betrayal.
Yeah.
Almost.
hurt, like we were wounding an already wounded animal. They were so mad at us.
And
Yeah.
like we were all standing up at the bench. Like Chris, one of our jammers, was like, "This is the last jam. Everyone stand up." I knew Pro. I didn't realize that the clocks were
Time
The
to
aligned.
same.
Yeah.
So I knew Pro, and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be. And Chris went, "This is the last jam.
Get the
Stand
fuck up.
And I went, "Yes,
Yes,
Mom."
yes, Mama. I'm up.
I am up." So we were all standing like screaming.
Screaming.
I was going like, "Don't puke,"
Yeah.
and everyone was like,
Here's the thing, though. Pro didn't need to get 28 points.
No.
Could have fucking stopped at any point.
Stop.
Could have gotten like 8 and just hung out.
Yeah, but jock brain.
Jock brain
brain.
was in overload and was just going.
Sometimes, like, if you stop and like give yourself a chance to think about it, like then it's a losing battle.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
sometimes you just
I
have to
feel
go.
like
So,
if Pro had stopped, they just would have thrown up on
Thrown
the
and
up.
they
track.
would have gotten a penalty because they would have had to exit the track.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they full sended it.
Yeah.
But like,
Come on now.
and then the jam would have ended. Anyways,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was crazy, and like we were all losing it, and then the whistle blew, and then like Skid,
was
you
crazy.
just like sprinted.
full
Well,
tilt.
Everybody
out.
was like, why aren't you going out there? I'm like, I have to wait for the whistle to be called.
Uh-huh.
I'm legally not allowed to go out there yet.
Yeah,
And then
you'll get arrested.
yeah, I
Yeah.
will get arrested.
Yeah.
We had our fucking moment where we collided,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
everyone else came in,
Collided.
and then we moved over to Pro,
And Pro's like,
Pro's like, get
"Get
out of
away
my
from
fucking
me!"
way.
Bro was like throwing
Okay.
bows trying to get out.
So
Oh, we have to
we
talk about
won't
that.
we won't get into the
Shoot.
specifics about it now because this is a thing for the Team Canada World Cup recap episode. We ended up singing the national anthem after we won that game, and it wasn't because we were like being assholes about it.
And I'm so that like,
TLDR, it was because Pro was throwing up immediately behind our line of
Yeah.
people, and we didn't want anyone to hear it. So we sang the
sang
national anthem to drown out the sounds of gagging.
And then we just got really into it.
yeah. And we kind of just like committed.
Committed to the bit.
It wasn't meant to be a like, haha, we won, let's rub it in their face sort of
No.
thing. It was a, like, we don't want you to hear the retching
Yeah,
happening immediately behind
back
us.
there.
So,
But it was so uncomfortable. Like,
yeah, it was. We didn't even finish the whole thing.
no,
We made it like
Crow,
3/4 of the
crawled
way.
back, and we were like, and
And
done.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
only talked about it afterwards because we were like, what the hell was that? And because I was the one that started it for reasons we will cover later.
Yeah.
But I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. I panicked and
Like, low-key, half of us were like, that was so, we're Canadian.
Yeah.
So
Like,
it's
it
fine.
it
don't
wasn't
worry
it
about
wasn't
it.
meant for us to be assholes.
Yeah,
No,
and like we
definitely
were celebrating so hard
Yeah,
after
that was
that
a
game,
crazy
and like
game.
just because we've gone through so much this season, and like to come out of this with a W
Crazy.
was insane. Like we
The dub.
lost
I want one of
it.
these.
The dub.
I
So
want one of
like
those.
I don't know. I feel like if you didn't know the full story, you'd be like these assholes. But like, whoa,
Yeah.
like we were so into it, and
It
just
was
like,
crazy.
so that was the California game, and like I
And-
want to play them again too, because they
Yeah.
were such a joy to play
I need
with.
a rematch.
And
That
they
was
were like,
so
they're
fun.
so good, and
Yeah.
like we're so well matched.
So
I just want to
kind.
Yeah.
I just want to learn from them, and like they
Yes.
talked to me afterwards. They're like, it was so great. Well, let's keep going. And I was like,
Yeah. It
Um,
was
What nice manners. this-
truly an honor.
yeah, an honor and a privilege.
Yeah.
So
But that was Cosmo
That was
Chaos.
Cosmo
Yeah.
Chaos.
For better or for worse.
After
The long and the
party-
short of it.
After party lore to be announced.
Yeah.
Talk to us personally about that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to contact us.
Yeah.
The
Not for
privately.
children.
the
Not for
after
kid
party,
ears.
the after party, and
And
the
the
after
after
party.
Yeah. I will
Um,
say this: Denver knows how to have a good fucking time.
Denver knows how to have a good fucking time.
Love you guys.
Baja knows how to have a good
Baja
fucking
knows
time.
how to have a good time.
Shout out to
Holy
Baja.
fuck, we love Baja.
Valen, baby, we miss you.
We miss
and
you so much, and we will be
Mwah.
playing you. We
Yeah.
are coming to Mexico.
Come down.
Please. One of these days.
Estoy aprendiendo español. You know?
Ditto.
I was sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so
Alright,
sorry.
We gotta wrap this up before the fucking battery dies.
Yes.
All right. So where can we find you? Put that
Instagram.
away. Where can we find
I
you?
thought we were done. Okay, Instagram. Personally?
No, yeah, personally, and then we'll do our.
All
own
right.
things.
Okay, so let's do personals. Smacky Kennedy on Instagram.
Ferris Bruiser on Instagram and just on Instagram and Facebook.
Amazing. Skidlet on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok if you're wanting that at all.
Oh hell yeah!
Don't go in there though.
Don't go on
I was
there.
about to call you out so hard.
No, please don't.
And you can follow the show at Getting Off Track Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify. That's the big
YouTube.
That's
one.
the big
YouTube
one.
and Twitter. Our Twitter handle is Got Off Track Pod. I think something like that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We're not
Anyways.
super active on there. I'm
No,
gonna be real. So
I'm sorry. I get a lot of notifications, but I don't post anything. My
Oops.
bad. My bog.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was Cosmo Chaos. Please stay tuned for Skid's recap of RollerCon.
And Ferris's cap of World Cup.
Yeah.
That'll be
We've
fun.
got some cool stuff. It's been so busy. We just decided to
Yeah.
go backwards at this
Yeah.
point because time has passed.
Yeah,
so
we got the band back together, so
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah, hopefully more content will be coming to you soon.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, thanks for all the love and support, folks. We appreciate it. And
Mwah, mwah.
we'll catch y'all on the flip side.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.